It is a blow to the team and obviously a huge blow to the individual as well. To the team, because you want all your bowlers available, especially now going into three tests, pretty much one after the other. We've had big gaps between the first and second, and now the third test. There's another big gap. But then they come thick and fast, 4 days between the tests. So you may need to rotate your fast bowlers. Will Jofra Archer be able to get through 5 test matches? They may not have been able to go Wood and Archer again, but Archer may need a rest down the line and Wood could have come in, but that's not going to be possible now. So it is a blow, but also for the individual. I mean, he's such a likable lad that gives it absolutely everything every time he plays for England. He's so popular in that team, and his body just keeps letting him down. And, he's come back from yet another injury, 9 months in rehab, tries to get ready for this tour. Hamstring goes in the warm-up game, knee goes in the first test match. He's bowled 11 overs and back for more rehab. And it's soul-destroying for the individual. He's been around for more than a decade now for England, and he's played 38 test matches. And if you remember the last Ashes in England went 2-0 down, and it was Wood and Wokes at Headingley that turned it round for England. And Wokes has gone. He's retired after his shoulder injury at the Oval against India. And now Wood is not retired, but he's pulled out of this tour. So it is a big blow for England.
Yeah, look, I mean, in the long term, really, look, he's proven his fitness for this series, but it was after another long injury layoff. So how concerning is it to you about his durability? Could it maybe even be the last that we see of him in the test format?
I hope not. He'll be very down at the moment. I hope not. I hope he has people around him that can lift his spirits. He'll have to go home and he'll wake up in the middle of the night watching his team, trying to fight back. He'll be desperate to be with them. You really hope not, because he absolutely, the reason his body, and you can see his knee there, the reason his body is like that, A, because bowling fast is hard work and it takes its toll on the body, but B, he runs up and hurls it and gives it absolutely everything. So you hope it's not the last, but you feel for him desperately. And he's 35, 36 next month. And at that age, it's very difficult to keep coming back from injuries. I mean, the only thing I'd say about this tour, going back to the original question, is that on this tour, it's not so much been about pace. I think England expected it to be about pace, looking back historically how to bowl in Australia, but it's been about skill as well. You look at Scott Boland and Nasser and people who have pitched it up and tried to hit the top of off stump, they have been successful. So whoever England pick, Adelaide can be flatter. It's hot here in Adelaide at the moment, and it's due to be hot during the test match as well. So they're going to need skillful bowlers for the rest of this series.
Yeah, look, what about Matthew Fisher being called into the squad? I've got to admit, I don't really know too much about him. So what is his pedigree? What sort of pace bowler is he?
I'm afraid he's another one who's had a few injury problems over the years, but Yorkshire first and then England. Yorkshire first, then Surrey and England. He played one test match in Barbados, got 1 wicket in that. 6'2" tall, fast bowler. He's out there on the Lions. He hasn't got a stack full of wickets out there on the Lions, but he's quick enough. And I watched him bowl in the last championship game of the season. It was that title decider, Surrey against Nottinghamshire, and he got 11 wickets in the game for Surrey and bowled beautifully. So he ended the season well for Surrey. He's out there bowling for the Lions, and he'll be absolutely thrilled because he had that one game for England in Barbados, and then he had a stress fracture on the back of that. So literally, like every fast bowler, you have to go through these things and come out the other side, and he'll feel, hopefully, that he is coming out on the other side.
Another blow, isn't there, for Australia? They've got Josh Hazlewood rules out of the series. Did this take you by surprise?
No, there were whispers and rumours. He did his hamstring in a state game before the series, and then there was pictures of him and Cummins bowling. Cummins with the pink ball, Hazlewood with the red ball. So there were rumours of him coming back, maybe for Adelaide or further down, Melbourne, Sydney. And then while trying to come back, his Achilles has gone. And you just know, with back-to-back-to-back test matches, if your hamstring and your Achilles, it's going to be a struggle. So you felt that he wouldn't make it, and that was announced today. They're trying to get him ready for the World T20, where he's a very good white ball bowler. In the series before the Ashes, he bowled beautifully in white ball cricket. And they're trying to get him ready for the World T20 Australia, which is February, March, India and Sri Lanka. But they obviously have. Cummins will come back. I think it's almost certain, unless something happens in the week ahead, that Cummins will come back and captain and play in Adelaide. Nathan Lyon, who knows this ground very well, he wasn't overly thrilled about being left out in Brisbane. He will come back. So that's a lot of Test match wickets. Michael Nasser has come in and done well when he played at Brisbane. So for them, because they've been playing so much cricket, they're very experienced cricketers. Josh Hazlewood would be missed from any side, by the way, but they feel like they can cope, and they're trying to get him ready for white ball cricket.
Look, looking ahead to this then in Adelaide, where you're at right now, what about the changes coming for England? Do you anticipate them? How on earth do they try and turn this series around?
You just got to be tough. You just got to be mentally tough. You are taking on a nation here. Everywhere they go this week, they'll be reminded, not that they need reminding, that they're 2-0 down. They'll be hammered by media, broadcasters from both Australia and England. And the captain hinted at the press conference and speaking at the presentation at the end of the game, saying, Australia is no country for weak minds and weak men, and they need to be tougher. And that can only come from within. When you're on a pressure situation at the Gabba and you're under lights and Stark and Boland is bowling and it's nipping around and all the Aussie crowd are banging on those seats and the Gabatoir is erupting, that is not just about skill. That is about handling pressure. And I'm afraid in this series so far, in those key moments where Australia have grabbed those key moments and Australia have enjoyed the pressure and then run towards the pressure and say, give me this, I want to be part of this. England haven't. England have succumbed to that pressure, and McCullum has spoken about it in the last couple of days. The captain has. That's an individual responsibility. In my era as captain, a very long time ago, we made it crystal clear in selection that we were going to select on character. I wasn't interested in how many first-class runs Michael Vaughan or Marcus Trescothick or Andrew Flintoff or Simon Jones or whoever had got. It's what sort of character are they when you are 20 for 2 and up against it, or the opposition 100 for 1 or 400 for 3 and your captain's asking you to come on for your fourth spell. That is when you have to be mentally and physically tough. So if I could offer any advice, would be pick tough cricketers, because that's what's going to be needed in the 3 games ahead.